What's good, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Zach here with Jay-Z Reacts. Today's video, we are breaking down my top 50 songs of 2023. If you guys didn't see last year, me and Jake did a top 25 each, our favorite songs from last year. Since he's obviously not here, we're gonna go through my top 50 tracks, kind of do a little speed round at the beginning until I get to like the top like 15-ish. Then I'll kind of break down a little bit more what I thought about the tracks and why I kind of went there. It's kind of weird because like as I continue to look at the list, I'm like, oh wait, maybe this song's better, this song's better. So I kind of just spit out some songs. I've narrowed this down from like 200, 250 songs. So it was honestly so tough to get. I also don't know if this is coming out before or after, but I have a top albums of the year as well. Bringing in my brother into the video too, so I don't know if that's coming out before or after, but go check that one out if you haven't. But yeah, top 50 tracks, let's get into it. Number 50 is Nightcrawler with Juice WRLD and Trippie Redd. This is a crazy fast-paced track. I wasn't super big on Trippie Redd this year, but this track was going back and forth with some complete chaos. I love this one. 49 is Green off of Mike Dime's new album with Wiz Khalifa. What a track. Their flows, they go back and forth with each other. They like kind of match the same flow and like tempo. It was just a wild track. Number 48, I had to give this one credit. It's Boys Aliyah, Pink Panthers, and the Ice Spice version on there, man. What a track. Like, they just go crazy together. Ice Spice, said it, I'm good enough. Cover my brr. I don't know. Well, I just had to give it a little bit of credit, but yeah, big bop on this one. Number 47 is Can't Catch Me Now off of the Hunger Games new movie. Don't judge me for this one, but O-Rod went crazy. I love the book. I love the movie. And the portrayal of what O-Rod was able to do on this with the two main characters and the ghost and like just the raw power behind it. I love that one. Number 46 is What Was I Made For, Billie Eilish, another powerful ballad. I loved everything it stood for. I love Billie Eilish's ability to tap into that raw power. And another movie track that was just phenomenal. 45 is Hold My Breath by Post Malone. This is another track that's just like super stripped down. And I don't think I've seen Posty be this vulnerable since like Feeling Whitney, like Stony days. So Posty, good job on this one. 44 is You Got a Man by Black Odyssey, and man, this track, I was trying to find like a track that could get in this top 50. I didn't want to do too many of the same albums, but this one just took me to another space, and I love this one. 43 is Palisades, California by Larry June, The Alchemist, Big Sean. What a collab, a monster collab from these three. And I mean, Big Sean, his verse, well, he was just spitting. He was active. He was just in it. And what a track. Alchemist production slayed this year. 42 is Ultra Griselda off of West Side Guns and Then You Pray For Me album. What a track. And if you put in Denzel with West Side on this like super grimy, more of like a trap album, but like overall this track was just, if you didn't see our reaction to this, me and Jake were just going crazy. Hey yo! 41 is First Person Shooter. I didn't really know honestly where to put this track off of Drake's album For All the Dogs. J. Cole, oh man, J. Cole was going crazy on this. I think kind of the very end of the track was a little bit weird, but overall, like, they can't miss. These two together is just so crazy. 41 is Say My Grace by Offset, Offset It Off with Travis Scott. From the first second I heard this track, I was dialed in, and just the energy that both of them bring on this. Another duo that Offset and Travis, they just can't miss. So this track just was so good. 39 is Diamonds by Boss. Ooh, man. I could have thrown actually a lot of songs on this album. And I was going to put Passport Bros right here, but I feel like Diamonds needs some recognition because this is some of Boss's best work. I feel like the vibe, the track, the message. I really like this album, and this song was super good. 38, we're going Moonlight by Kali Uchis. Oh my, what an album. Again, another one I want to give some shout out and some credit to because Kali was phenomenal on this one. Another album dropping soon, actually, but another kind of a bop that I think I'm going to be listening to for a while because she was so good on this track. 37's All My Life off of Lil Durk's new album. I am not a big Lil Durk fan, I'm being honest. I think when he hops on with some features, he can do pretty good. But this one I thought was actually really good. Cole, Lil Durk, even the choir set it up. They just straight lifted me up into the heavens. Great track. 36 is Oh You Went off of Young Thug's kind of super surprise business project this year. I do not think this track is being talked enough. It was just crazy. Like, Drake potentially, don't hurt me for this, but he could have the feature of the year on this song. I think this track is wild. I don't think anyone really has cared about it, but Oh You Went is phenomenal stuff. 35 is So off of Q's new project. This project is another very low-key piece of art, really. Like, the way that he was able to portray the R&B soul space was so good, and this song took it over the top for me. Track 34 is Mona Lisa by Dominic Fike. This is on the new Spider-Verse Spider-Man movie soundtrack, as well as Dominic Fike's project Sunburn, and it was amazing. I love Dominic Fike's work on Sunburn, and the Metro Boomin production on this track made it just that much better. So what a vibe. I think this is one of those, kind of like Sunflower, I think I'll be listening to for like the next 10 years. Never getting old for me, and I really love this one. 33 is Spirit 2.0 by Sampha off his new project Lahai, and this song is, oh, Sampha, you MFer, dude. Like, he took me to a different space on this project, and it's actually not my favorite track on this album. We'll get to that later, but wow, Spirit just takes you away, man. 32 is Perfect off of Scaring the Hose by Danny Brown and Peggy. If you guys watched that reaction, this is not like my style of music. I can definitely appreciate the creativity of Danny Brown and Peggy, but not my style. But definitely from like first listen, Perfect, I was like, this is going to the basketball, like the gym hoops playlist. Like, this was a crazy song. Just get you pumped, man. And like, yeah, heavy gym vibes. I love this one. 31 is Say Don't Go by Miss Taylor Swift, the queen. Swifties, where you at? No. Actually, probably unpopular opinion, but I think this was her best song of the year that she kind of brought out from the vault. I love it. I love the space. I feel like she's pretty raw and like emotional and powerful on this one. So personally, this is my favorite Swiftie track this year. 30 is Stop By Biking with Francis. Let's go. Stop By Biking with Francis. I mean, enough said about them. The lo-fi boy band, super melodic, just lovely vibes. I love this track. Takes me to another space. Another one I think I'll be listening to for a while because I just can't get sick of it, but good one. 29 is Adonis Interlude off of the Creed 3 movie soundtrack produced by Dreamville. What a space that album was able to create. I love the movie soundtrack. And this one, holy hell. If you're trying to get motivated to do literally anything in life, just turn this on, both headphones, put that noise cancellation in, and just let J. Cole just tell you what to do in life, because he pumps some huge motivation in this one. 28 is Luckily I'm Having, Don Toliver, Tizo, Tutty, Tizo Touchdown. What a track, like what a vibe. I feel like this one was one that I was moving around so much. I think it can definitely go higher. I just kind of ended up putting it here because I was sick of trying to figure out where it could go. But from the first play, I was playing this so freaking much. So potentially a top 10 track here, but I had it land here. Just a great vibe. I need more Dawn and Tizo stuff for sure. 27 is Bleu by Wale the Sage. If you guys don't know about this, man, this could probably be like my flow of the year. Like definitely one of like the sickest, most just like nasty, like that stank face. It just gives you that stank face. I feel like he's getting into a huge space. I feel like his project Running From Time was very well put together. And he's getting into a bag right now, so watch out for maybe Wale the Sage to have a pretty big next year. 26 is Sweet by Mr. Tizo. Touchdown. Again, a lot of tracks I feel like could have gotten this space because of how creative Tizo was, but I love this one with Foshi. The combination of these two on this one took me again to like this beautiful space, this harmonic, angelic, like sounding like last part that Foshi was able to get on at the end. I love that part. I love the song. Tizo, great work. 25 is Wharf Talk by Tyler the Creator off of Call Me If You Get Lost, The Estate Sale. I don't know how I feel about this album as like a whole project. I don't know. We don't need to get into that. But this and Stuntman with Vince Staples. Wow. Some crazy work from these two. And on this track with A$AP Rocky, I feel like they got into the dopest like A$AP beachy, Tyler the Creator like vibe in this one. I feel like the space was just so cool. 24 is Bobby Boucher by Spillage Village. They're back. Earth Gang, like Dr. Dot and Johnny, like these two could probably be the best duo out there if we're being honest. They have an unmatched flow, an unmatched way to bounce ideas and flows and rhythms off of each other, and I absolutely love what they did on this track. If you haven't heard this one, please listen to it. 23 is Half Doing Dope by Jid, Lil Yachty, like Baby oh my goodness. Another one that I was gonna put in here is Van Gogh off of this little pack. But Van Gogh came out a while ago, so I'd already heard it, so I kind of just discredited that one. But what a track Van Gogh is, and what a track Half Doing Dope is. Jid just gets into another one of his crazy bags. JID is about to be the rapper of the century, so just get ready for his come up, because he's here. He's already here, but like, Mr. Jid, he was so good. 22 is Type Time by Biking with Francis, another one of their album. 22 is Type Time by Biking with Francis. This is off their project Honeydew. I think I'll get into this one with my top album / a little honorable mention thing. I usually drop some EPs in there. But again, Biking with Francis just has a way of pulling you into a track, letting you have fun with it, enjoy the rhythm, the vibes, and the men in the Biking with Francis group. They got something there, and I think someday soon, everyone will kind of know about them. They're going to be big on the come up, but this track took me to a fun, just a good, vibe place. Track 21 is Honeymoon, also by Don Toliver off of Lovesick. Wow. I remember hearing this song and I was like, this is like the grooviest, craziest Bruno Mars feeling wild track that I've heard. And then 2023 just continued to get even more creative and more crazy with a lot of tracks. So kind of fell a little bit backwards for me personally, but Honeymoon had some insane stuff. I feel like maybe if Tizo could have been hopped on this track, could have heard even more from him, but wow. What a great groovy R&B, super just funky vibe on this. Track 20, we've hit the top 20, and my number 20 is Virginia Beach by Drake off of Fat D for All the Dogs. I love this intro track. I don't know what people feel about this track. Maybe let me know, but I feel like this track is a little bit low-key, a little bit slept on. It was a great introduction to the space that Drake is wanting to get into, and the sample of Frank Ocean's Wise Men from Django is possibly one of the best samples. I love the song, and I feel like Drake put the perfect melodic vibe all over his sample, and I feel like his just the bounciness that Drake's able to get to in this song. Hey, clown me if you want, but I think this track is phenomenal. Number 19 is Kingdom Heart Key with JPEG Mafia, Danny Brown, Redville. Me and Jake were waiting for this song from these three, and I didn't know how I was going to feel about it because Danny Brown and Peggy are just so different, but this was definitely my favorite song off this one. Sorry, I know about Scaring the Hoes, and there's so many crazy songs on this album, but I love the different moods and vibes and everything that these three were able to do, the switch ups. Sometimes I don't even know how to feel on this track. It's so fun sometimes, and sometimes I'm just feeling the vibe, I don't know. If you know, you know, but this was a great track. Number 18 is kind of a super low-key, surprising one, but probably my favorite J. Cole piece this year is To Summer from Cole off of Summer Walker's little EP project she put out. And it's basically just the coolest, nod to Summer Walker of just, J. Cole, just appreciation, just, this little talking, flowing message from Cole. And I feel like he hit a super nice, bar and tempo, and I love what he did on this one. If you haven't heard it, maybe you haven't, but it's pretty low key, and I just feel like Cole tapped into a space of greatness on this track, embodying who J. Cole is as a rapper, kind of as a producer, just as him. And I love what he did for Summer Walker on this. And then 17, Mama's Primetime off of And Then You Pray For Me, Westside Gunn. Jid, oh my gosh, Jid did not stop on this track. He would not. I was waiting for him to shut up, and he just wouldn't. He just kept going and kept going and kept going, and this one was so good. Project as a whole, I'm still kind of I need more, but Mama's Primetime and some other select tracks on this project by Westside Gunn, so good. Oh, and the other features on this track and throughout the album, this has to be mentioned by the grimy Jid on this one with some more Westside Gunn on there. Wow, so good. Number 16 is Mustard off of Jordan Ward's new project, Forward. This is technically kind of his deluxe version. He called it More Ward. But this track with Black on it, oh my gosh, everyone. Already Jordan Ward has come up on the scene this year. I've loved his last project. We'll definitely get into that one. Even later in this video, actually. There's a song on there that's phenomenal, but this one, holy, the space they get into just kind of talking about it, like what's going on in the scene, with then Black coming in on his verse and then Jordan Ward coming in to like harmonize and like put his like super crazy high voice in with Black. Wow. If you haven't heard this track, please go listen to it. I'm pretty sure we actually reacted to this one and put it on the channel, so you can check that one out, but these two were so good. I need actually more from these two. Top 15, number 15 is Mood Swings by Teezo. Touchdown, baby. What in the world was Teezo doing on this track? This one is another one of those that I thought Honeymoon was probably the most creative, like groovy, funky, vibey tracks. And then Mood Swings came along and just like kicked Honeymoon out, because I think the vibe that Teezo encapsulated on Mood Swings surpassed Honeymoon somehow. I don't even know, because I didn't think anything would be able to touch like that crazy Bruno Mars-y, like jazz band funk that Don Toliver was creating on Honeymoon. But he did it here in Mood Swings. Teezo Touchdown is just definitely one of those tracks that's going to have a great replay value throughout, like, honestly, the rest of my life. I don't even know. Track 14 is Saturday Night, 3:22 a.m. by Laney, L.A.N.Y. off of their newest project, Beautiful Blur. Wow. I mean, I don't know if Laney's still, I feel like, pretty low-key. I hyped them up with their last project before this one. I put it in my top albums. I believe it was of the decade so far. Maybe it was like an honorable mention. I honestly don't remember. I'm sorry. It was GGBBXX. Anyways, A Beautiful Blur was an amazing project this year, and this song taps into one of those spaces that makes me blue inside. I have a playlist called Mavi. It means blue in Turkish. Longer story, 90 to explain, but it just makes you feel blue inside. Just like, oh, it just grips just at your soul. Just like, it just makes you feel. And I love this track so much. This is my favorite one off of this project. I know if any Laney fans out there, drop your favorite ones. I know there's a bunch of others. XXL, Alonica, I Pray. Like, I don't even know. There's so many tracks on there, but I feel like this one was one of my favorite ones on there. Track 13, almost the exact same thing as I just talked about in track 14, but track 13 is Self Love off of Metro Boomin's Spider-Man Spider-Verse album. Listen, don't hate me for this, but Coi Leray, I'm not the biggest fan. I don't know why, but like this specific track, I don't know if it's just that little Metro Boomin spice on there, but the absolute most amazing thing happens on this song. And I feel like even the movie helps a little bit to kind of put you in that space. But anytime I hear this song, it just takes me right to just Miles and Gwen and just like this crazy blue, super eerie space of that like Metro helped create so well. And Coi Leray was the most perfect person to be on it. Like, it would have probably been the last person I would have ever guessed, but definitely I think my favorite song off of this project, and I think one of the most well-executed songs on it. Track 12 is Say Something off of Lil Yachty's project, Let's Start Here. And the reason for this track, I know there's like Black Seminole, there's the outro track with Daniel Caesar, there's a ton, there's The Ride, this is an amazing album, but I don't know, I feel like this track, I remember when we listened to it, me and Jake, and he like slowed it down and went dun, dun, traveling, and like that part, and I just like got out of the car. I was like, I can't take it. Lil Yachty has just, this is like my tipping point on this album, because I feel like it was so good, so surprising, and we finally got to this song and I was like, that's it, like Lil Yachty did it. He did something I haven't heard, and like this was my track, so that's why I really love this one. Number 11 is Modern Jam off of Travis Scott, Utopia. Modern Jam with Teezo Touchdown, baby. Another Teezo Touchdown track, but holy, the real winner on this is Travis Scott, because his like just delivery on this, his attack, baby please get off the gram, like he just kept going, like he just couldn't be stopped on this one. And I feel like Teezo was such an amazing person to put on this, because he helped get it into like that next gear towards the end of the song with his creativity and his flow. So I loved what they did on this one. I loved Utopia. I loved so many tracks on this one. I really did try to keep it to 2 tracks per album, because we're about to see again. There's 2 tracks inside the top 10 that are from the same album, but Travis Scott could have had a ton as well. So I love this project from him. Top 10, baby. Let's go. Top 10. Number 10 is Sampha making a return with my favorite track off of Lahai. It's Only. And the reason why is I feel like Sampha has this ability and this incredible talent of creating a beautiful like environment and little like bubble is what I like think of when I'm listening to some of his songs. And I feel like Only put me in the most wild creative space so far off of Lahai. And I mean, it's not too old. It came out in October, so it's not, I need to like definitely listen more, but so far this track caught my attention from the beginning, and it was one of those that I just can't stop listening to. It's creative, it has different beats in it, kind of like something Tizo Touchdown would do, and so I loved what he did on it. Number 9 is Slime You Out off of Drake's For All the Dogs featuring SZA. Oh my gosh, I love SZA so much. There's another one by SZA this year, No Seasons. That was a great track as well, but listen, I feel like people didn't like Drake as much. There's always the Drake haters. But this one specifically, it was almost 6 minutes of just like beautifulness. Like Drake had some crazy great moments on this track. SZA coming in on this track had a great entry and a beautiful message throughout to the end of her definitely just amazing performance. But then Drake didn't stop, and this was the part that really had me put this so high up here, is that he did the crazy like January Pretend to See, like he went through the months January, February, March, like all that beautiful like moment. And I felt like, especially listening through the album, like once you get to this point in the album, you're just like, he did it. Like he put it together so well somehow. So you might disagree with me, but I feel like SZA and Drake hit it in a beautiful space in this one. Number 8 is The Grudge off of Olivia Rodrigo's album Guts. Oh Rod, oh my goodness, this track. There's a lot of songs on this album that could definitely go. I mean, I tried to stay away from but Vampire is definitely one of the best tracks of the year. Even Bad Idea, right, is super good. The first track, All American, there are so many great moments on this album, but I feel like for me personally, The Grudge creates the most amazing Olivia Rodrigo space I think I've heard so far. Like some of her oldest, like Deja Vu, I feel like kind of does some really good moments like that, but from start to finish, I feel like Olivia Rodrigo has just hit like her top peak performance so far in what I feel like is an amazing music career so far for her. So a great album, great song, and it definitely needed its recognition on this one. Number 7, we go the world, excuse me, is Hillbillies with Baby Keem, Cornrow Kenny, Kendrick Lamar. Wow, this one was so cool to hear. Like, anytime I can get Kendrick Lamar to come out, I'm so happy. And now Baby Keem is starting to be a little quiet, a little mysterious, a little eerie. But when they came on this track, this one's so fun. Like seeing live stuff from when they did the Tyler the Creator Festival, Camp Vlog, wow, they did a literal hillbilly set. Like, I love this song so much. I feel like it's, like I said, so fun, so creative. It's something that I feel like Baby Keem and Kenny just love to do together. And then they even played back and forth with different, like, Messi and Neymar stuff. And, like, just, it's creative, it's fun. I could just picture them in the studio just loving life doing this like, song. So, I love it. Track 6 is Smoke Break Dance off of Mick Jenkins' project, The Patience. And, come on. First of all, if you listened to Mick Jenkins at all, you would know that he is so good at what he does. And putting JID on a song like this is so amazing. And I love what happened on this track. I love, like, JID being able to just tickle. Like, he just, throughout the whole song, his whole verse, it was so good. Like, when we did the reaction for Mick Jenkins, like, throughout the whole time JID was even saying anything, I was just, like, not believing what was, like, happening, because he has one of the best abilities to just be able to do something that he continues to just rap, but every time he puts something out, it's so different. It's like J. Cole, like, it's just something that you feel like you've never heard, but it's the same person doing it. It's just so good, and he is so good at it. Number 5 is I Know, Travis Scott off of Utopia. This was the one. I feel like people have said like different tracks were their favorites off of Utopia, but I feel like the real ones know. Like I know people say My Eyes. I loved his melodic performance on that, but I know takes it to the craziest, like just Travis Scott in his ultimate, like just the bag that he's in. Like he gets a little fast paced, he slows it down at times, he changes his flexion like at different points in the song, and this was the space that I wanted Travis Scott to get to. Like I feel like he's done it a couple times on some of his other projects, and he did it again here, and I feel like he just like encapsulated everything about Utopia and the Utopian experience. And My Eyes, definitely another one that I just want to keep mentioning because like he creates the great perspective of his life and what's happening. But I feel like I Know just was the best, like performance wise. I don't know. I can't even I can mansplain about it all I want, but I just love this one. Number 4, my 4th track of the year is Always by Daniel Caesar. Oh my gosh, guys. Talk about being lifted away. Always, and I'll be here. Like, just what an amazing job by Daniel Caesar to, like, I keep kind of using the same words, but he is in the top tier of people that can create a beautiful, angelic, like, euphoric space. Like, he gets my mind in just the... He just tickles it. Like, he knows what he's doing. Like, his voice is so beautiful. We saw him live this year as well. And he was just like, Always is one of those tracks that I'll play probably till the day I die because of the beautiful, beautiful tones and sounds and melodies. And he hits different like ranges on the song, and like he doesn't bore you. Like, he's able to just move the track in different ways, and I love what he did on this one. Number 3 is Since I Have a Lover by Black. This was actually just insane. I remember when we listened to the single for it, we reacted to it, and I was like, is Black really bringing out this alternative indie rap R&B like soul-y vibe to his music? Because if he does, I was like, we're going to have a problem. It's going to be over. And the rest of Since I Have a Lover, the album by Black, I have destroyed it this year. I have loved what he's done. He's already so good at that rap, kind of like, really melodic stuff he does. He really does like that kind of space. And I feel like with this track specifically, it just gives that super indie alternative, like really different vibe to like, Black's music. And I feel like it was really reinforced by when he did the track with Jordan Ward with Mustard, and I just love what Black has done. I feel like he's had a great underappreciated year, so this is one of my tracks of the year for sure. Number 2, speaking of Jordan Ward, Fam Jam 4000. I feel like a lot of people might like White Crocs, but wow, Fam Jam 4000, I abused this track all year long. And like anytime I'll talk to someone, I'll be like, yeah, Jordan Ward's doing this and this. They're like, who's Jordan Ward? I'm like, remember the song's like, Can We Bring the Love Back? And they're like, oh my gosh, wait, I know exactly what you're talking about. Because I play this song so much around everyone, and I put everyone on this track because I feel like Jordan Ward had one of the greatest performances of the year on this song. And like the only kind of comparisons I could think about with it was songs that were like Modern Jam that kind of did this bouncy groovy thing. Luckily I'm Having, Honeymoon, Mood Swings, like stuff like that. But I feel like Jordan Ward did the most amazing job on this one. And he is a very underappreciated artist that is getting some huge hype in the R&B and soul space now. I feel like he's going to continue to grow. I'm excited for what he's got in the future. And this was just a beautiful, fun, like just fun. Like it's just an amazing, fun track. And I feel like it definitely was one of my favorites of the year. And then number 1, my track of the year is Toronto 2014 by Daniel Caesar. Like I said, I did try to keep it to 2 songs per album. Daniel Caesar's project could have had the whole entire thing listed. I don't even care what anyone says. But Toronto 2014 specifically, I think the greatest thing about this one is that he was able to tap into his past self and what was going on in his life and transform it into what is going on now. And I feel like from start to finish, he kind of shifts his like energy and focus and helping you feel like what is going on with him. And like when he goes later on the track and he goes, and he like kind of like gives his own little like melody, and then I can hear but like he just keeps going, and I'm like, euphoria, like euphoric. It's one of the best euphoric experiences of the year, and hearing him live with it too was so good. And like, that's what I love about him. Like, there's no one that probably made me happier on a song and on a track than what Daniel Caesar did on Toronto 2014. Anytime it comes on, I'm just so like excited to hear him portray his message and what he's gone through since 2014, and since his experience in his life and his time in his life, how he's moved on to like the man and the artist he is now. So deep, amazing, happy, melodic, beautiful, like just everything I want in a track. And I feel like that was my favorite track of the year. So there it is. Top 50 tracks of the year, baby. 2023 snuck up on me. I feel like it was a great year. Please let me know your tracks in the comments. Anything you guys, I don't know, if you disagree with me, if you hate me, if you guys got any suggestions for me to listen to. Hopefully 2024 is going to go crazy too. I think we're going to have a great year coming up soon. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought in the comments. Leave a like, hit that comment, subscribe, you know, that little YouTube stuffy stuff. But yeah, see you guys on the next one.